In South African culture, if your father is from a place or you're Nigerian, period. In South African culture, if your father is from a place or you're Nigerian, period. There's no such thing as Nigerian South African. Respect our culture. There is no Nigerian South African, you are Nigerian. Since black men in South Africa could not become superior elsewhere, the only place where they could only be superior is within our culture. They say that I did not answer you. Let me kick off with this. In black spaces, that's the place where you could feel the utmost superiority because you cannot be elsewhere. Culture and tradition was created by men to fit the interest of men. The concept of lobola, as to how we know it today, was influenced by a man called Sir Theophilus Shepstone. This right here is the guy. Second, what the hell is all mine? The way you talk about your child and your wife is the way you talk about your property. And you enforce that in your cultures and traditions. My husband can take my surname if he wants. It's called a double barrel. Go look it up. However, your little egos, they're so fragile, they cannot take that. This is why violence towards women is so high in this country. I do not belong to my father. I am my own person. I have my own thoughts. I have my own way of existing. I am not owned by any man. Get that? I find it the most ridiculous because when we do not understand our history, we don't understand where we come from. And this is why we need to understand that when a surname or when we call our ancestors, we do not call just the father's side. We call the clan's name. We call all our ancestors, male and female. And that is important for us to emphasize because when we don't do that, it's easier for us to erase a history of people. And that's exactly what colonists came and did in the continent of Africa. Erase a history of women who contributed so much. And the only history they could take or the only history they could only take into account was that of men. The men, even at that, a selective of few men, because the men who actively fought against the oppression of our people and the creation of the system, which is so capitalistic and so damaging to our environment, they died. Okay, they joined our ancestors. And such high value men who hold to strong values of tradition and culture wouldn't want this, wouldn't want what is happening. because deep down they know that they fought till the end, and what we hold on to is not what our ancestors wanted. It's a problem, and it's very problematic, and that's something that we really need to become very aware of. That when we call our ancestors in clans or in prayer, when we acknowledge our ancestors, we call African. They can be that. You can be South African if you want, just like me. I'm put us and did not come to build us. You don't want to accept that, because accepting that hurts your little egos that are so fragile. And also, when we do things of the sort, when we have conversation, what happens about the LGBT community? Because as a heterosexual man, you're so strict within your sexuality. You don't see how your cultures and your tradition affect other people, because you are so selfish within yourself. really, really, really raising them, not you marrying a woman that you don't really like just for you to create a lineage, because that's another entire conversation in itself. But you're not ready for that, no? You are not ready to have that discussion that you are an absent you're an absent parent. You're an absent present. Nonsense.